Welcome, Summer. Yeah. Man. Hier kommt man denn her? Hi everyone, welcome back to Carla. Well, in the last video we finished up the aft part of the ship. We closed up all the portholes in the aft. Next step will be cutting new holes for new portholes, but we haven't decided what kind of portholes we want in the back or where they're going to be. So we'll move on to the wheelhouse now. If you remember, we found a hole in the side of the wheelhouse, going out through the side of the wheelhouse. It was where there used to be engine room ventilation intake, I think, so that the salty air was drawn in next to the sheet and simply corroded it away from the inside. We're also going to have a look at the tank fills. We have two on each side, and they're also corroded all the way around. So we're going to change that. But in order to get to the hole in the side of the wheelhouse down here, we have to remove this rail for the door and remove the engine room air intake. So yeah, I think we'll start there. Let's have a go. We would like to remake these doors to get them stronger, either in fiberglass or best of all in stainless steel, but it all depends on how much time and how much money we have when we get to it. The doors are riding on sail tracks, with the slides mounted to the bottom of the door. Well, there you have it. This was the hole that we're going for. But as you can see, here we have a hole, and here we have a hole as well. I know it's very thin over here as well, so yeah, well, we'll have to cut away at least this all the way up here, because this is very thin, and we have to cut away a piece all the way across down here, and then we'll have a look at how much of the deck we have to replace. Depends how much or how thin it's gotten underneath there. We'll go have a look. Well, I was just thinking, now that we're working so close to the windows, or to the wheelhouse with the windows, I think it's finally time to remove them. We're going to remove them anyways to fix up the edges. Some places they're rusted. We have to remove them anyways to do that. We'll have to remove them when we're going to sandblast. So yeah, we might as well get it over with. So let's remove one, see how easy it is, and then let's take it from there. Yeah, well, sorry for the camera angle, but I really didn't dare letting it go to move the camera once I unscrewed it. Well, we got it out, but I really think we need some kind of suction handle to put on the window so that we have control over it while I'm taking it out. I really don't want to drop it. Then we'll have to have some new ones made, and I really don't want that. So yeah, but yeah, it went alright. I don't know how we're going to get this off the window without breaking it, but we'll see. But for now, I think I'll go inside and see if I can find some kind of suction handle, if we have one. Otherwise I'll have to get Heidi to buy one when she comes back from work. So yeah.
Okay, I have exciting news. Last week on our last video we got our very first super things, and wow, I can tell you guys how surprised I was, and I almost fell off my chair. But we got it, and it came all the way from Canada, from Mark Huston, and we really, really appreciate it, Mark. We will put it to good use towards the videos or the boat. We don't know yet, but definitely good use. Thank you very much, Mark. Now we should get on with the video and back to Klaus.
Well, it's the next day. I searched the house and the workshop. We don't have any. So I went to the hardware store yesterday and I bought this. So now we can continue, and I can have a hold on the windows while I'm taking them out. This should be able to carry around 100 kilos, it says. So I think we're safe. Let's get going. The windows are made from 6mm hardened glass, so they're quite heavy, and they're all custom cut for the boat. just marking the frame so I know where to put it and which way is up when I have to reinstall them. It was all going so well with the windows until I messed up. Oh well. Even though I had the handle, well, I have to remember to hold on to it. I don't know why. I should have just tied a string to it or something. I thought of that yesterday, but I forgot to do it today. So I wanted to change a shift hands to get this off, but I just forgot to grab hold onto it with the other hand. And yeah, well, now it's down there in, I think, a million pieces or something. Now we'll have to clean that up. We did need to change the glass anyways, make a new piece or get a new piece made, because there was some flaws in it, but I would like to have had the old piece to measure from. But oh well, that's the way it goes. Now we'll move on to the smaller windows and yeah, well, clean it up down there. Inside the boat, in order to get a clear workspace, I'm cutting the bolts that holds the small wooden battens that are mounted onto the frames. Here I'm trying to cut the welds that hold the sheets onto the frames. Later we'll see if it's enough. Okay, well, I took out the windows in the back, and as you saw, unfortunately the middle one fell down and broke, but I've used the vacuum, I cleaned it up. We'll have to take some measurements, maybe doing the measurements on a piece of paper or something, send it to the glassworks, I don't know. Problem for another day. But I left in the windows on the other side and the windows in the front, because we do still get frost outside, and the frost makes condensation on the inside of the tent, and every time the sun comes on and it thaws, it drips inside the tent. So I don't want to remove all the windows, because then I have to put a tarp over the whole wheelhouse so that we don't get a lot of water in here, and I want to keep it dry as possible in here. So long explanation for a small problem, but now I think it's time to start cutting. I want to remove this hole where the ventilation was, we'll cut a new one. So we'll cut I think a couple of centimeters above it, and then we'll cut on the inside of this frame all the way down, and on the inside of this frame all the way down. On this side it's okay, but over here we have pitting around this hole. This one is okay, we can weld that shut, but this one we need to remove. So I want to go, when we come down from over here, go all the way over here and then down here. Then we have the deck, as you can see. I don't know, I think we're going to remove it in one piece. So we're going to cut all the way down, cut in, and then cut all the way across in here, and then back out to the edge, so that we'll remove this L-shape piece of metal, hopefully. I was going to bring out the plasma cutter, but the weather being what it is, we still have, as I just said, a lot of frost, and I don't want to bring the compressor out. I nearly killed it last time, so we'll keep the compressor in the workshop. We'll use the plasma cutter for making the new sheets for this, and then we'll use the grinder to remove this, I think. Yeah, let's get going. Well, we got the plate out. It ended up being quite a challenge to get it out, because it was hard getting to the weldings we had on the frames down here, and also the corners. I couldn't really get the grinding disc in there to cut the corner, so I had to get the recip saw and cut it away, and when I did that, there was no problem. Now I've made the corners like this, so that I can round the innermost part of the corner. I don't want to round, make a big circle. I just want to round just the inner part of the corner, just so that we don't get a pointy corner where it can start a crack into the plate. I don't know if it's enough to do it like that, or maybe I should make bigger roundings in the corners like I did on the portholes, but I think this should be enough. As long as we don't get into a sharp corner that can start a crack, I think it's okay. So now I cut off the last of the wedge, and then I'm just going to round them with the grinder. Of course, had we done this with the plasma cutter, we could just have cut around, but again, I think it's too cold to bring out the compressor, and honestly, I can't be bothered getting the compressor, the plasma cutter and everything else just to cut out this and then bring it all into the workshop again to cut the plates for this hole. So we did it with the grinder. It was a bit of a job, but it worked. So
No sudden moves.
Well, it's finally time to look at some insulation. Yesterday we were at the hardware store. We bought 6 rolls of this glass wool, 95 millimeters, and we're going to cover the whole thing. We got some wooden battens to put up, and then we got Heidi got some wood fiber plates or sheets that we're going to cover the whole thing with when we finished. We also have a plastic moisture barrier. I don't know what it's called in English, but in Danish it's called a moisture barrier. It's just a sheet of plastic, and we're going to clip it on and close it off so that we don't get any moisture from in here going up to the roof and making condensation. Yeah, something like that. But I think we're going to start in the small room, because that's where I keep my tools. That's where I want it dry in the first place. So let's go have a look at it. Now we could just make the roof or the inner roof flush with the underside of these, but we simply have so little headroom in here that I want to make the most of the room we have, and I can move it up maybe 5 to 7 centimeters, and 5 to 7 centimeters higher would give me almost 1 more meter to walk before I have to bow down. So that's what we're going to do. One problem we have here, we can just screw the batten onto the side and then the roof onto the bottom of that. But in here we have the wall, and I simply can't get in there and screw the roof into, or the inner roof into the batten. So we'll have to use a bigger piece of wood to cover it out here. And I think I have enough for this, but I might have to go to the hardware store to get to the other one, but that'll be later. Let's start with this one and see how it goes. Now, as we have mentioned before, the reason that we're putting up the insulation is to stop water droplets forming on the inside of the roof during cold weather and then raining down on the tools when it gets warmer outside. I'm leaving around 5 centimeters or 2 inches between the insulation and the roof. This allows air to circulate through. This is definitely one of the times where it would have been easier if Heidi was home to help me. We got these sheets of masonite very cheap on Marketplace, and Heidi went and got them when I was out sailing. By using a combination of metal wire, the plastic barrier and my head, I managed to hold up the insulation until I could put up the masonite sheets. Well, day number 2 in this workshop installation project. Yesterday I managed to put up 2 sections of the installation. I only had half a day yesterday because it was the first day after Christmas and New Year. Neuglinus had to start school and Erland had to start kindergarten for the very first time. So I had to go with him and make sure he had a good day. But we still managed to put up these 2 sections. It went alright. Could have used another set of hands sometimes to hold it while you're screwing and stuff like that. But it went alright. I had to put up a crossbar where we connect the 2 sheets. I should have done that over here as well, because now this one is sagging. I don't know, maybe I'll take it down and put one in, or maybe we'll just leave it and put some underneath it. I don't know. Today we should be starting this one, but I have a screw up here that's leaking, so I have to go on top of the roof, pull out the old screw, put in the new one with some sealant and stuff. And we also need a bigger board over here to screw in, so that we can get to screw the inner ceiling into it. So we'll wait with this one, and I think we're going to start out here today. Should be straightforward, this section. So yeah, let's get going. All of this took around 1 week to put up, so as you can imagine, we have a ton of footage. However, this video is getting quite long, and I'm not sure how exciting it is to see the same thing over and over again. So I think we'll cut to the result, and then maybe we'll make a short video of this whole project another time. Well, there's one thing we just have to show you. Come along. Look at this. While I was out sailing, one of my father-in-law's good friends, he had been watching some of our videos and thought, hey, maybe they need some tools. So he filled up his car with tools from his home, and he came here and filled up the workshop with tools. I don't know what to say. It's like Christmas Eve over and over and over again. I just keep opening boxes and realizing, well, we need that too. So yeah, what do we have? We have a recip saw. We have diamond drill heads to drill large holes into concrete. We have a brand new sander. Yeah, well, you can see it. A sanding machine. It's never been used, it's in the plastic. We have a handheld belt sander. We have another orbital sander, also brand new. We have a router. Nej.
Nej, ikke lige nu. Kan du tage den med udenfor?
Nej.
2 heavy duty grinding discs for the grinder. a brand new box of screwdrivers. A brand new jigsaw. That's amazing. Brand new small and large angle grinder, and well, we're already on our number 2 angle grinder over there, so yeah, it's like sent from heaven. It's perfect. And here we have a brand new hammer drill, and that's actually quite nice because the one we used in the boat to remove the concrete in the bottom, it broke. So yeah, perfect. And here we have a table saw, a bit less sketchy than the old one. I don't know where the old one is, must be in there. But yeah, table saw, a circular saw, a small table router, and over here there's a table planer. I don't know what it's called. You can plane wood on top, and you can also put pieces of wood in through it, and it'll shape it to the thickness you want. I always wanted a machine like this, so I don't know. It's absolutely amazing. These he also brought. I don't know what they're called over there. In Danish they're called dogs. You put stuff on top of them and roll them around, furniture and stuff. We also got some LED lights and extension cords. We got dust masks. Actually, the one you just saw me use on the boat were some of the new ones. I needed those, so that's a lot. That's really a lot, and we can't go through every box right now. But I promise you, I'll go through the box and I'll show you the machine when we need it along the way, because this is absolutely amazing. I don't know what to say. I don't know. So yeah. Thank you very much, Jack. This is really appreciated. We're going to put it to good use, and we're going to need all the machines. I'm sure of it. It's totally overwhelming, this. But I also think this is the end of this video. If you have any comments or questions or good advice for us, write them in the comment section below. And remember to subscribe to the channel if you like the videos, and yeah, like the video. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.